What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Steelez. This is another edition of Kicks with Soul, where the slogan is, every shoe is just a shoe until you put your soul into it. And today, we got one of them Coke classics, y'all. Y'all know I do my reach backs. Remember I was telling y'all something that was came out when I was not into the sneaker game or sneaker collecting at the point. So when I got into the sneaker game, there was, I say, a top 12 shoes that I needed. I think I'm close. I think it's probably about 2-3 more, but I'm thankful because we got another one. As you see, this is the Reebok box. This is the Nike Question. Allen Iverson's first signature shoe. This Allen Iverson, fun fact about me, growing up, I didn't know I'm a Kobe loving fan now, but Iverson was my first basketball player that I wanted to be like. You know, I didn't like Kobe because they were too good. You know what I mean? Like, I knew he was good, but that Shaq Kobe era, everybody played with him on NBA Live 2000 or 2001 or 2002. It was always crazy. Even 2004, 2003 and 4, they were good in 3, but the 4, when they had Karl Malone and Gary Payton, the game didn't know they was going to lose the championship. They had them good too. So it was just, I started hopping on Kobe when he became an underdog. Just a little fun fact story. But once he became an underdog and lost the Bubblicious and the Gatorade endorsements, the Sprite, and then he was going to court back and forth. And you know what I'm saying? I kind of liked him then because I was like, what he going to do? You know what I mean? But off that, let's go back into, like I was saying, my favorite player growing up. I was a little kid, wanted to be just like Allen Iverson. So let's get into it. We got the slide out box, which is cool. This is the old school. I don't think this is the original box it came in. It might have, though. I was so little, but I definitely had these ones. I had these ones, and I had the tan with the kind of suede toe. It was like a grayish tan. Oh man, let's take these out the box. We got just standard Reebok paper right here. I'm about to say Nike, you know what I'm saying? I do all my shoes. I don't do just Nike, you know what I'm saying? But let's take a little spin on the sole table. This shoe debuted in 1996 season, I guess, when he I want to say 1996 because he got drafted in 96. I don't think it was in 97 because he had to end the questions. So I want to say 96, you know, maybe it's the 96 season, 96, 97 season. But man, this shoe right here, from trading cards to drawing it at school to begging my mom, can I get a new pair of shoes? She didn't know what kind of pair of shoes I wanted. She don't care about none of that. But these were affordable. These was in our price range. So I was super dope, happy like a kid in a candy store. It's like I feel like a kid again, holding these and being like, yo, I can't wait to wear this shit. This to school tomorrow. You know what I mean? That's like, I remember feeling like that, like, oh man. And they had a couple variations of it. I always liked the pearlized toe. I like the red ones as well. I need to get those cool because those do have a significant memory in my head. I didn't have those, but I do remember those in the city. But these right here, man. And if you know, you know. If you, anyone who watch sports, if you watch basketball, if you consider yourself a basketball knowledgeable person, you know what he did in these, man. You know what he did in these, man. You know what he did in these, man. They had the commercials, of course, but the commercials was more of the guy, the DMX guy. I remember him introducing this Hex Air system. You know, they can't use Nike Air, so they got to call it something else. So they used the Hex system, just like Reebok used the Boost and Ultra Boost and stuff like that. And Nike owns the Zoom and the Air. So they were introducing the technology, and I guess all it is an air bubble. But they was something about, like, back in the day, it's transluting different, like the way Iverson moved and stuff. They was like translating some different air into the units and different parts of the shoe to make his reaction time or just the cushioning on it to react to those cuts. I was like, okay. But those are just the commercials I remember. You know, I remember DMX being more like a runner's guy. He was like a runner's, and they introduced him to Iverson, and they teamed up, and he came up with this system. I don't think he designed it. I think he designed the cush system for this shoe. But the honeycomb, it always looked cool. I always loved the Question logo before he had his, this is the first joint. Because when he came in, it was the Question. And then when he came back, it was the answer. And then that's when he came and introduced the I3 and then it was on from there. But you know, the real ones remember this Question Reebok logo. That was super dope. I always like the Reebok going down on the side right there, as well as the logo on this side. I always remember that. And didn't Jordan do that to some shoes too? Like a retro, or not a retro, I think it was a pack. I think I seen it on War Tester. I seen it on somebody. I didn't even never remember that. I just remembered I think the Gratitudes or some. I remember some retro shoe, maybe like the 2019s, 22,000s and stuff. Not 22,000, 2020. I said 22,000. What the heck am I talking about? But I think I remember Jordan being on one of those. But I know Iverson, I don't know if he did it first, but I know I do remember that. Only thing I remember that I don't, but no, let me not say that. I bought the shoestrings with those little dots in it. They might have came in it though. I'm trying to remember, man. That's a long time ago, man. But I remember having, like, wearing them in school. I remember having the blue, like, blue dots inside the shoestrings. You know what I'm saying? If you remember the 90s, they used to do that. You know what I'm saying? But I remember that. That's the only real big difference I remember. Of course, this hex system is more generic, just looking now. It ain't really probably doing what it do. What you got on the bottom, you got that nice clear icy bottom, you know what I'm saying? And you got that Reebok logo right there. Nothing on it. Oh yeah, you do got a nice little honeycomb pattern, but it's cotton or cushion right there. But then you got the leather at the top. It's all white sock liner, so you gotta, you know, keep them clean, get some fresh whites, or get some nice clean whites, you know what I'm saying? Because this is a pearl white shoe. But man, I'm just thankful to have this shoe. I know it's an old shoe, y'all, so I know it's like, oh man, he's showing this old shoe, but it's new. It's new in my collection. I'm super stoked to have it. I've had this shoe once in this colorway, but I had this silhouette so many times because I appreciate the silhouette. But I do say that they did kind of run out with this dang on silhouette. That's why I don't think everybody appreciate like the silhouette as much. But when it comes to this color, you know, it's kind of like Jordan 1s. You know, they can do all they want to them Jordan 1s, but if you put that royal toe, you know, put that good leather in that cut, we there. You put the Chicago, you put the band, we there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this right here, this was one of the ones. But oh, I wanted to tell y'all the memory. Do y'all remember him playing the Chicago Bulls? And he always talk about this, but man, when he said, when I get a chance to go in the NBA, he was telling his friends, I'm going to try my move on Iverson. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people call it carrying because, you know, that ball used to be up there. Like, he used to kind of hold it. I don't think he really did this, though. Like, because to me, carrying is like, you know, like he never, like, he was more like he had those long arms. So he used to boom, boom, whoop. Or he'll hit you with the 1, 2, whoop. And then that thing would be out there and he'd kind of juke his body with it, like, you know what I mean? And just, whop, that thing would be so low to the ground and he'd come the other way and already be going into the layup. Like, that's a little AI, man, 6 foot. But he was playing the Chicago Bulls. Of course, Jordan wasn't matched up on him all the time, but I guess in this one particular moment of the game, he had came up to the top of the key and you can hear Phil Jackson and the sideline actually say, Mike, get him. So, man, the crowd started, like everybody knew. Let's see. It's the question. Is you that nice, man? Is you really like that, man? That man came, boom, gave him a warm-up. The warm-up was a highlight. The warm-up with the boom, boom, and Jordan, whoa, but came back like a cat. Like, looked just like the black cat. You know what I mean? Because that motherfucker, whoa, okay. And then Iverson said, and warmed it up with another one. And bang! And Jordan really like, you know what I mean? Like, I got the still shot of it. Like, that dude, Jordan, whole arm was, the shoulder was to the side. Like, you gone. You know, and Iverson just, went, whoop, made the shot. But a fun fact, Jordan definitely came back and I think dunked it and dropped, like 30-something and they won the game. So, you know, Jordan did Jordan, you know what I mean? But, you know, everybody get hit with the you know what I mean? But to catch Jordan and that be your moment and that, like, okay, let's take this dude serious. I think they was gonna take him serious anyway, but he was so little and he was like, what he gonna do? You know what I mean? That 90s, well, technically he was a two guard. So the 90s two guards were all big. I don't think he had to be the smallest one. Clearly, he might have even been the smallest point guard if you take away like Muggsy was in the 90s. He still played with the Raptors. So yeah, Muggsy. Trying to think of some other small guards. I can't think of, because the 90s had Grant Hill, Penny, Eddie Jones, Kobe. Then you had the Tracy McGrady era. Then you had the Vince Carter era. Then he played with LeBron. Then you had Melos. Then, you know, them boys was big. And Iverson won the MVP and took an okay team. Them boys, he ain't had no bums. Now, he had some good players, but they wasn't standard to look at them and say, yo, them boys going to the NBA Finals. But they end up going to the finals. Not in these shoes, though. I got to get those shoes, the one with the zipper. Ooh. When he stepped over Tyronn Lue. He said he got so many signature moments in his shoes. That's why I personally like his shoe. But this one technically is, to me, is a top. I ain't gonna throw some crazy number out there. So let me just say top 20 sneaker of all time, as far as, you know, culture, you know, for the culturally basketball sneakers. I'm gonna say that proudly and convincingly and confident that this is a top, maybe 25. You know, it depends on who you asking, but I think worldwide, nationwide, I think they gotta give us, because I got on the Bulls today, and I don't really, you know what I'm saying? I got on the Bulls today, and I understand what these mean to the culture. You know what I mean? But these are not like my favorite shoe or nothing. You know what I mean? I do have them, but these, when I look at them, I'm like, oh my God, these ain't. No, but I do know when I got them, I feel like, oh, I'm Bo. I feel like I'm a dope boy in the 90s, you know what I mean? 92 and 81, you know what I mean? 89 and stuff, you know what I mean? But that's just me, you know what I mean? So I think they had the same feeling with these AIs. There's a clean looking shoe. Culturally, if you was there, you remember the significance of somebody new, small, in a fresher breath air. You know, he had the swag, you know, he ain't had the cornrows yet, you know, had maybe a couple tattoos, but it was just his aura, you know, the way he played, you know, he was a tough guy, you know. But I wanted to get that out to y'all this good old Friday. Look at them beauties. I was gonna wear these today, but I'm gonna let them breathe. Probably wear them next week. Oh, I'm going on a cruise next week, so actually I won't be doing my daily sneaker posts and my reels, because I'll be on vacation, going on a cruise. Appreciated that. But y'all can still like, comment, subscribe, man. If you don't know, if you just come watch the videos, I do post daily shoes every day. You know, I work in the hospital, so I don't do too much crazy stuff in my shoes. So I show them off at work. So I take my little pictures and I do little reels and make a little art. Nothing crazy, but just something to contact my people and just show the daily contact. And I actually wear my shoes. This is my collection. I'm in there. I'm wearing these guys. You know, I do trade shoes, and I sell a double if I buy a double for that reason. But that's all I got for y'all this Friday. Y'all be safe. Y'all enjoy y'all weekend. It's your boy Steelz, and this is Kicks with Soul, where the slogan is, every shoe is just a shoe to you. Put your soul into it. Peace out, man. Let's go. Let's ride.